Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing kind of like an in-depth tutorial on how I do my Gel X nails at home. Quick disclaimer, I am not a licensed nail technician. I did not go to school. I don't have any licensing, none of that, okay? I want to make that very clear. This is what I do on myself. Please don't use this as like a guide to do nails as your job on other people, because this is just what I do for myself. I've been doing Gel X nails for around 2 years, I want to say, and I've been getting a lot better and I've improved my technique and everything, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I've been getting some requests to do this video, so I hope you guys like this and is helpful for you. If you have any questions about anything, definitely leave it down below. All the products I'm going to be using in today's video will be linked down below. Most of this stuff is from Amazon. Full disclosure, I don't have a storefront, so I'm not getting paid for it. It's just going to be the links for the products. I don't have a storefront. These are the nails that we are doing in today's video. So if you want to learn how I did this, then just keep on watching. So step one in doing my nails, the most important thing is nail prep. So I start with a cuticle remover. This one is from Blue Cross, and I just squirt some of that on my nail and then use my finger to kind of rub it in. And then I grab this like cuticle pusher. This one's metal. I believe it's from Shein of all places, but you can get them at a lot of places. And I just use that to kind of push the cuticle back on my nail plate. And then I have these cuticle clippers that I use to go in and just remove any of the dead skin. This should not hurt, by the way, so if it hurts, you are doing something wrong. This is just dead skin that I'm removing, so it's not connected to my tissue or anything. It's just dead skin that I'm taking off my nails. After doing that to all of my nails, I go in with a nail file to kind of buff my natural nails and also kind of shape them a little bit. I do get a lot of growth when I have my fake nails on, so I do tend to need to kind of shape them a bit. And then I also like to buff the top of the nail plate to get everything to stick, because stuff is not going to stick if it's a smooth surface, so you need to buff it. I don't go too crazy. Normally I do less than this, but at the time of filming this, I had not had my fake nails on for about a week. So I was letting my kind of natural nails heal a bit. Usually my natural nails are pretty thin after I take off my fake nails. So normally I do a lot less buffing than this, but they were pretty thick and healed at this point. So I did do a little bit extra. Once my nails are nice and buffed out, I take this old makeup brush that I cleaned and I just kind of dust off my fingers. And then I do take some isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol with this like no lint little wipe thing, and I just use that and I go over my natural nails with it to clean them, dry them out, and also to remove any dust particles. Nothing will stick if there are dust particles all over your nails, so this is very important. Ignore the fact that I have nail tips already on my fingers. I did this out of order by accident, but the next step after I clean my natural nails is to use builder gel. This is optional. I personally really like to do this. It's just this really thick, clear gel that you put on your nails and you cure it under a UV light, and it gets really hard. And it's just a nice kind of layer in between everything. It really helps to protect your natural nails and help them grow and everything without being severely damaged from the nail tips. I noticed that my fake nails seem to last a lot longer and be a lot more durable when I started adding builder gel. So I personally recommend it, but it's not necessarily needed to do this. It's just kind of an extra step if you would like longevity. So you can see here I have the builder gel on my nails, and then I just cure it under the lamp for 60 seconds. After the builder gel is on and cured, we can go ahead and add our nail tips. So I use these Beetles ones, and I personally do almond tips, but you can obviously do whatever you like. So I do have like a cheat code. All the nail tips are numbered, and I have picked out my sizes, so I have them written down on the inside of the box to make it easier for me. So I just pull out each of the nail tips that I need. Once they're picked out, I kind of just lay them out kind of in order like this. And then the next step is to go ahead and file the kind of underneath part of the nail tip. That's the nail drill that I use. You are going to need a nail drill to do this. I will say this is not the most necessary thing. this does help improve longevity of these nails. But if you're just starting out and maybe you don't want to spend a bunch of money on all these supplies and you just want the basics, you don't need a nail drill. It's totally fine to not do this step. Some tips, you can actually buy them like pre-filed. I used to have some. I personally did not notice that they really did anything, so I filed them myself. But this is optional if you don't have a nail drill, if you don't want to buy a nail drill. I would recommend it. Again, it is for longevity, but as you can see here, I'm just taking the nail drill with this kind of sanding bit on it, and I just put that on the underside of my nail, and I just kind of file that down a little bit. Once again, it's better to have a rough surface over a smooth surface. Smooth surfaces don't stick for that long and that well, so that's why I'm doing this. This next step is kind of a new one for me. I've only done this one other time before, and I don't really know that it does much of a difference for me personally, but that is using a nail dehydrator. So this is from Model 1s, and it's just this like clear liquid that you put on your nails, and it just dehydrates them. You don't want your nails to have any sort of like soap, oil, liquid, anything like that on them, because that is going to cause them to not stick as well. I think this is optional as well. I think rubbing alcohol works just the same. Okay, so now that our nails are nice and prepped, we can go ahead and start gluing on the tips. I use this Beetles nail glue. I personally think it works really well. I've been doing my fake nails for 2 years now, and I still struggle with like how much glue to use. So I just put a decent glob on the back side of the nail, and then I also do put some on my natural nail. I put kind of a thin layer on my natural nail, and then I do a pretty decent sized glob on the fake nail. Okay, so I glued that one on. I will show you how I glue on this next one. So I'm just adding the glue to this one, the fake nail, and then my natural nail. Okay, and then this whole process is pretty fast. I turn on my light, and then I push the nail tip starting at the top of my nail bed, and then I push down, if that makes sense. And then I just put it under the UV light for about a minute. I forgot to mention this, but please make sure you're wearing sunscreen when you are using a UV light. It can really damage your skin. So I have this sunscreen, and please look what happened when I squirted it out. Oh my god. So rest in peace, my life. But regardless, please make sure you're protecting your skin. You can also buy like a UV glove. I don't have one of those. I just put on the sunscreen. Okay, so this hand has all the tips glued on. Once they're all on, I go ahead and put this back under the UV lamp for 2 minutes to like really fully cure everything in there. Then I go ahead and do my other hand, and everything is nice and glued on there. So once my tips are glued on, now it's time to go ahead and shape them. You can always just buy nail tips that are the exact shape and length that you want, and then you won't have to shape them. But my nail tips are a little bit too long for my liking. Sometimes I do keep them this long, but this time I'm doing them a little bit shorter. So I do different things. If you're not going to take off that much length, you could probably just file them and be fine. But here I am just taking some nail clippers, and I'm kind of clipping them in the shape that I want, so they're still keeping that almond shape, and I'm just clipping off a little bit and just being very careful to make sure I'm keeping everything nice and even. Once I kind of have them cut down, I go ahead and take my nail drill once again, and I just kind of lightly go over the top of the nail. I used to use a nail file to do this, to kind of buff the top, but it just takes a long time. So I just use the nail drill to go over just pretty quickly. I'm not that great at using a nail drill. I don't really know how to use it, to be honest. I never use it on my natural nails because it always like burns. I think it's called like the rings of fire or something. I always get it on my nails. I don't know how to use it. I don't use it right. So I don't use it on my natural nails. I only use it on the fake tips, and I just lightly do it over top of it to buff it. And then I still do use a nail file to go over and still rough it up. And then I use a nail file as well to go ahead and help with the shape. I think this is probably the hardest part about doing nails, is getting the shape down to a way that you like it, and to also make sure that they're even. It's pretty difficult, and it takes a lot of practice, and I'm definitely a perfectionist, so I can sit here for like 6 hours just like filing the littlest bits off my nails. But after I filed and shaped all of them, this is what it ends up looking like. I then take that makeup brush once again and just kind of try to dust everything off. I then take one of these little buffing stick things, buffing blocks, I don't know what they're called, and I just kind of go over all my nails. It kind of just helps like smooth it out a little bit. After everything's buffed and filed and shaped, I do take some more rubbing alcohol and a no lint wipe and just kind of go over my nails again to get all the dust, just everything off of my nails and my fingers. Once all the tips are on, I actually do go back in with some more builder gel on top of the fake nail. So this time I do a bit of a thinner coat. I do pretty thick on my natural nail, and then when I do it on the fake tip, I do a pretty thin layer. Once I got all the builder gel on my fake tips, I go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds under the UV light. I do also want to say that I do one hand at a time. So once they are shaped and filed before I add builder gel, that's basically my starting point. It's because with the builder gel, even though it's cured, it's still a bit tacky and you can get lint and dust and stuff stuck to it. And it's the same with gel polish. Even though you cure the gel polish and it's not necessarily wet anymore, it is still tacky and stuff can still stick to it unless you put a top coat over it. But obviously top coat is the last step, so I just do like one full hand at a time. Basically, it's just how I personally do it. It does take me a few hours, so I pretty much do one hand, take a break, eat some food, and then I do the other hand. Anyways, back to the nails. I am just adding a base coat right now. Whenever I do my nails, I pretty much only ever do Frenchies. I just love Frenchies. I think they look the best on me. I just love them. So I do a nude base, and I absolutely love this nail polish. I've used quite a bit of different nude polishes before, but this one is by far my favorite. I love it because the bottle is so big. I use it every time I do my nails, so I need a big bottle. So I love that, and just the color is like absolutely perfect for my skin tone. I will link it down below if you're interested in that one. This brand has a ton of different colors though, but I will link my specific one. I do love this polish as well because personally I do think it only needs one coat and you're pretty much good to go. This time I did end up doing 2 coats of the nude. I do think it's a bit dark personally for my liking with the 2 coats. So I think going forward I will still just continue to do 1 coat, but you pretty much only need 1. And just to be clear, once again, this is gel polish, so you need to cure it under a UV lamp or it will not dry ever. So here's what it kind of looks like with just the 1 coat, and then I'm curing it for 60 seconds under the lamp. Like I said, I did go ahead and do 2 coats this time, so here's me doing a second coat. And then after that is cured, here is what we are left with. Now I'm going to be doing the design, and this is the brand of the nail polish I'm using. This is the cat eye nail polish. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's like the velvet nails or the cat eye nails, whatever it's called. It's like a reflective glitter polish. It uses like a magnet or something. I don't know. I'm just using it today. I'm using this silver one, and I have this little nail paint palette. I got this off of Shein, and I'm just dispensing some of the polish onto this palette so I can use a smaller, more detailed brush. So here's my container with all of my nail brushes and dotting tools and stuff. I do have these Beetles fine line nail brushes. I got these from Amazon. They're really good, and this teal one is like my go-to brush to use. So I just started to use that to kind of paint on the Frenchie, but I kind of realized that this polish is very sheer. So I actually went ahead and put down a white base instead, and then I'm putting the glitter polish kind of over top. And then I'm using the magnet it came with to give it that cat eye effect. Cured that for 60 seconds, and this was the outcome. It was still too sheer, so I did a second coat, and that is what it looks like. And then I just added the silver to all of my nails, and that is what it looks like. Now I'm getting into the design. I'm going to be adding some snowflakes to a couple of the nails, and I'm not going to do like a super in-depth tutorial on this, but snowflakes are honestly really easy. It's just a bunch of dots, and then you connect them with lines. I think there's some really good tutorials on how to kind of do this in like a better light on TikTok. Just look up snowflake nail art tutorial. Super easy, but I'm just using this dotting tool. I have quite a few of these. I got these in a pack from Shein, again, of all places. And then I'm just using this line brush to connect all of the dots. And then I'm adding another snowflake on my pointer finger here. Honestly, nail art is just one of those things that you just have to practice to get good at. It honestly is not that hard. A lot of like the simple things, it's really not that difficult. It's just kind of circles and dots and lines, and you just connect them, and it's really not too bad. There's lots of tutorials on how to do things, and I promise It's not too hard. I can't do anything really past this though. But yeah, it's not too bad, so don't be intimidated. And here's what those snowflakes look like. I did end up adding some more snowflakes on my thumb, and I also wanted to say that it's definitely very important to cure your gel polish after each step, especially when you're doing nail art, because if you knock your hand the wrong way or whatever, you smudge it, it's ruined. So it does take a lot of time, but curing it after each step will honestly really help to keep your designs looking nice. Any hoodles, I decided to add some rhinestones. I love adding rhinestones and stuff to my nails, and I got this pack of these rhinestones from Shein. Again, Shein is really great for nail stuff. They have a lot of stuff and it's very inexpensive. And I'm using this rhinestone glue. I used to use the Beetles rhinestone glue. That one's pretty good, but I started using this. I think it's Macart, I think is the brand. I think it's a bit better personally, and it's in a tube, which is a bit more inconvenient. The Beetles one was nice because it came in like a pot, but it's fine. I just put some on my paint palette here, and then I'm using a dotting tool to pick up some of that glue, and then just putting a little dab of that on my finger wherever I want the rhinestone to be. And then I'm using this tool. It's basically like a rhinestone picker-upper. It really helps. It uses like static or something to kind of help the rhinestones stick to that tool, and then I use that to just place it on the glue and then kind of push it down a little bit to get it to stick. And then of course you're going to need to cure this under the UV lamp for like a minute. I have seen people do a top coat first and then add their gems and stuff. I think you could do either way. I personally do it before the top coat normally though. Once you are satisfied with how your nails look, it's time to go ahead and add some top coat. So I use this one. I've only used it a couple times before. I just got it recently, but so far so good, no complaints. And I just make sure I really kind of glob that on there and make sure I'm covering every square inch of the nail. And once every nail is covered, I cure that for 60 seconds. And here is the finished product of my first hand, but I still have to do this entire process over again on my second hand. And after about 5 hours, my nails are completely done. Okay, well that was the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and again found it helpful. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them down below. And like I said, all the products I used will be linked down below as well. And that's gonna do it for me. So I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys later. Bye.